Okay, so we'll start standing tall, with your feet hip distance apart, outside edges of your feet parallel. The weight even through your feet, so from your toes back to your heels, you're even through your left and right side, so your weight's in the centre. Stand really tall, lengthen through your spine, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders in line, so you're open through your chest, fingertips reaching to the floor. Take a few deep breaths in and out, just bringing yourself into the moment. Breathing in, opening through your rib cage. And then as you exhale, we'll tighten through your tummy muscles. So take a deep breath in, exhale, firm your tummy muscles. Relax as you breathe in, opening through your chest. Tighten your tummy muscles, then lift your pelvic floor muscles. So take a deep breath in, exhale, lift your pelvic floor, tighten your tummy, and then relax as you breathe in. So finding that length through your spine. And then engage through your glute muscles as well. So squeeze your bottom muscles, lift your pelvic floor, tighten your tummy so you're getting all of your core muscles engaged and relaxed. Keeping that good posture. And then we'll keep your muscles tight. So glutes, pelvic floor, tummy, and we'll bend into a squat. Push your bottom out backwards and then come back to standing. So you can squat shallow or deep. But make sure you're pushing your bottom out backwards. So you're keeping your knees over your feet. Like you're sitting back into a chair and really squeezing through your bottom muscles. Come up to standing. Back nice and straight, shoulders relaxed. And then we'll stay standing after that one. Arms down by your sides and circle your shoulders round. Just big circles, getting that full range of movement through your shoulders, alternating one and the other, lifting it back down. And then we'll draw your elbow back, so reach your arm forward, pull your elbow back in line with your shoulder, drop that arm and change arms, alternating arms, opening through your chest. And then we'll keep your arms down by your sides and bend your elbows up. Keep your elbows tucked into your waist and open both hands to the sides, opening and closing your hands. So you're opening through your chest and your shoulders, but you're keeping your elbows, the tops of your arms at your sides, elbows tucked to your waist. And then we'll bring your arms in front, so release your arms, bring your hands in front of your chest and twist round. Standing tall, lengthening, shoulders staying relaxed down your back, twisting from one side to the other, twisting through your waist and your hips. And then we'll stay in the middle and lift up onto your toes and lift your heels off the floor. Reach one arm up, one arm down, and then cross your arms in the centre. Tighten through your core muscles to keep you balanced up on your toes. So tighten through your glute muscles, your pelvic floor, your toe muscles, and strengthen down your leg muscles. So feel your kneecaps lifted, so you're tightening through your thigh muscles. You can lift up high onto your toes to make it harder, or you can lower your heels closer to the floor to make it easier. You can have your feet flat on the floor if you want to, and just focus on getting that stretch through your upper body. So you're really reaching your arms up and down, stretch through your tummy, stretch through your shoulders. And then drop your heels down, drop your arms down. We'll stand tall, tummy tight, glutes tight. Lift your knee one at a time. So we'll alternate one leg then the other. Keeping your weight lifted up out of your hips. Tight through your core muscles to keep you balanced as your knees lift. One then the other. Try and keep your pelvis level as you lift, so you're not dropping hip down, hip arching up. And then lift your knee up, take your leg down and lift straight to the side. Straighten that leg, lift to the side, and then change legs. The knee, come down, lift straight to the side, and then change. And again, try not to get any movement through your pelvis. So as you lift your leg to the side, you're not rolling or leaning, hitching. Breathe the leg down and opening. And then rest your legs down after that. And then bring your arms down both sides and we'll flex and relax your wrists. So draw your fingertips up and then release down. Keeping your shoulders relaxed down your back. Lengthen through your arms, elbows straight. Drawing your fingers up and back. And then we'll keep your fingertips pulled up. Push to the heel of your hand. Lift your arms, so one arm and the other. Shoulders relaxing. Arms lengthening, so you're really straightening through your elbow. Pushing through the palm of your hand to get that nervy stretch, that kind of nervy, tingly stretch down your arm. And you don't have to lift very high, you can just go 40 degrees, 45 degrees. You don't have to lift as far as 90. Think about pulling the fingertips back. You might find one side's worse than the other. And then we'll relax your arms down after that and give your arms a shake out. And we'll squeeze your shoulders into your spines. Open through your chest, squeeze your shoulders back, and then release. Squeezing your shoulder blades into your spine, and then relax. And then relaxing your arms. So turn your toes in, so your feet are slightly pigeon-toed. So with your toes towards each other, heels out. Bend into a squat, keep your knees wide, and come up and reach both arms up to the ceiling. So lengthen forward, bring your arms over and bend back down. So squat down and then reach up to the ceiling. Try and keep your knees wide, so don't let your knees come together as you squat down. So just be aware if your knees are coming in. Try and push them out, stay over your heels. Your feet staying in that pigeon-toed position, weight even through your feet. And lengthening forward, giving that big stretch up to the ceiling. You can take a slight back bend if you want to, but you're really extending forward first. Tighten through your glutes as you push up. And then relax your arms down after that one and turn your feet so your feet are parallel. Bring your hands in front of your chest and then we'll float your rib cage across. So you're sliding across from one side to the other to get a stretch across the middle of your back. So try and keep your hips and your heels, your legs stay in place, in line. You're just floating your chest across. So it might only be a small movement, just while you're getting that mobility through your chest. And then we'll stay in the center with your shoulders. Keep your shoulders and your heels in line and push your hips from one side to the other. This one's usually slightly easier to do. And just stretching through the middle of your back, through your lower back. And then we'll stay in the middle after that and drop your arms down. And stand tall, tummy tight, glutes tight. We'll lift your leg, balance on one leg, bring that leg across in front of your body and then open to the side. Stay on the same legs, come across and then open. So you tighten through your core muscles to keep you balanced, stable through your glutes, your tummy. You can tap your foot if you want to. So if you're struggling with your balance, just tap your foot as you come across to help keep you balanced. And think about that length, the standing tall. And then we'll change your legs. So drop that foot down underneath your hip, bounce on your other foot, come across in front, and then open. Tummy muscles tight, glute muscles, bottom muscles squeezing tightly. Crossing and opening that leg. Remember, you can tap if you need to. And then rest that foot down to the floor. We'll bring your hands inside of your head, bring your elbows together, close your elbows, and then push your elbows back, opening through your chest and shoulders. Close and then open. And then we'll keep your elbows open on that one. So push your elbows back. Stand really tall in that neutral position, and we'll bend from one side to the other. So feel that big stretch down your sides. Standing tall as you come up through the middle. So lift tall, open through your sides, staying open through that shoulder. You can use your tummy muscles to pull you back up to the middle. So tighten through your tummy and pull up. And then we'll stay up in the centre after that one. Drop your arms down, and we'll take a step forward. So take a stride forward. Your feet can be narrow or wide. Keep that back heel lifted, and we'll bend both knees down. So lunge your back knee down towards the floor, and then come back to standing. So both knees are bending. The back heel is lifted, hinging over. Make sure that front knee is staying over your ankle. Weights even through your front foot. The back's nice and straight. Shoulders are relaxed. Tighten through your core muscles to keep you balanced and stable as you lift it over. And then we'll stay up after the next one and push your back heel to the floor, so flatten your back foot. Keep that leg straight and then bend and straighten your front knee. So that front knee coming over your ankle. Keeping that weight even through your front foot. Make sure your hips are facing forward, so you're not turned open and bending open. Your hips are forward. So you're really lengthening down the back of that leg, pushing your heel into the floor as you lunge forward to get a calf stretch. And then we'll hold that stretch. So keep your front knee bent, push your back heel into the floor, so you're really lengthening down your back leg. Hold that stretch. And then tilt your hips forward, and we'll hold this hip stretch. So you can lift your back heel up off the floor if you want to, really getting that tuck under of your hips. Stretch through your hips, so lengthening from your shoulder to knee through that back leg. Hold that stretch there. Take a few deep breaths. And then release your hips back. And then bring your feet slightly closer together. Bend your back leg, straighten your front leg, and then we'll just hold that stretch. Your back knee is bent, front leg is straight. Your back is nice and straight, shoulders relaxed. Stretching all the way up that leg so you get stretched up into your hamstring. And then come up, shift your weight onto that front foot, lift your back foot up behind. So you can hold onto your ankle, your foot, your trouser leg. Stand tall in that position, hold that stretch to the front of your thigh. Try not to get a big arching movement, so try and just draw the knee back. And then release that leg down, and we'll change legs. So take that leg forward, and that should have changed your legs. Take a stride forward, Lift your back heel off the floor and then we'll bend both knees down. So lunging up and down. Tight through your core muscles, keeping you balanced. Choosing your challenge, so going shallow or deep, the harder the further down that back knee goes. But check your front knees in good alignment over your foot. Hips are forward, glutes are tight, back straight, shoulders relaxed. And then we'll stay it after the next one and push your back heel to the floor, lengthen through your back leg and then bend and straighten that front knee. So your front knee moving forward and back, coming over your ankle. So make sure your weight's even through your foot. Keep your back heel pushed into the floor, lengthen through your back leg, easing forward and back. And then hold that stretch, front knee bent, back leg straight, pushing your back heel into the floor. You can push that back heel out to the side a bit more so your foot's really parallel if you want to increase that stretch through your calf. And then we'll tuck your hips under, push your hips forward and hold that stretch. So lengthening through your hip, so getting that push forward, tuck under of your hips. So lengthen from your shoulder down to your knee. Hold there. And then release your hips back. Bring your feet slightly closer together. Bend your back leg, straighten your front leg. So back knee's bent, front leg is straight, lengthening up your straight leg, holding that stretch into your hamstring, lengthening up the back of your leg. Keeping your shoulders relaxed. And then come up and shift forward onto that front foot and lift your back foot up behind. So feel that stretch to the front of your thigh. Hold onto your ankle, your foot, your trouser leg. Hold onto a wall if you need a bit of support to keep you balanced. And then release that leg down. We'll stand in your neutral position, so with your feet hip distance apart. Clasp your hands together and take a big stretch forward, rounding the top of your back. Lengthen forward, release your arms, and then clasp behind your back and open through your chest and shoulders. And then we'll alternate between those two, so releasing, coming forward, lengthening, release, opening through your chest. That big stretch through your shoulders to the top of your back. And then release your arms and bring one hand across your body, hug it in with the other hand, hold that stretch, drop your shoulder down, hold there. And then relax and change arms, so reach your other arm across your body, hug that arm in, drop your shoulder down, hold that stretch. And then release that arm round. And we'll come down onto your hands and knees. Let's come down onto the floor, onto your mat, onto your hands and knees. And take your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees hip distance apart. And we'll start arching and flattening your back. So tuck your hips under, arch across the top of your back, let your head rest down between your arms, and then come up and rest to a flat back. So you're getting a nice curl through your back. Your weight's even through your hands, lengthen through your fingertips. Your elbows can be slightly bent to ease your wrists. Knees are hip distance apart. Curling through your lower back. It might be a bit stiff to start with, But as you ease into it, just see if you can increase that range of movement a little bit. Arching through your back. And then we'll stay in your neutral position. So with your back in a flat position, take one hand across your lower back and twist and look up to the ceiling. So look over your shoulder to the ceiling and then look to the floor. So open and then look back to the floor. Staying on the same side, so opening through your shoulder as you twist. And then we'll change arms and take that hand back underneath your shoulder, cross your other arm across your lower back, look up to the other side, looking over your shoulder and back to the floor. And then rest that hand back down to the floor, drop your bottom back to your heels and reach your arms forward. You can have your hips higher in the air if that's more comfortable. And just take a few deep breaths in and out in that position. Let your forehead rest on the floor. Stretch through your hips, through your back, through your shoulders. And then we'll come back up onto your hands and knees again. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees hip distance apart, and we'll lift your knees up off the floor. So hover your feet up and twist round. So bring your feet round to your head round to your feet, and then come through the middle and go to the other side. So you're getting a stretch down your sides as you twist. Keep your shoulders relaxed and keep your back lengthened. So don't curl your back as you twist. Keep that length through your lower back. Stretching through your sides. If it's too much with both legs, you can just do one leg and then change the other side. Nice stretch to open through your sides, through your waist. Those muscles that get tight in your lower back. And then we'll stay in the middle, so drop your feet down in that neutral position. Take a few deep breaths, and then we'll tighten through your core muscles, so tighten through your tummy, your pelvic floor, your glutes, and we'll slide your leg back one at a time. So lengthen your leg behind you, bring that knee back in, replacing it in position, and change legs. Alternating one leg and the other. Keeping your back really nice and still, so shoulders relaxed, lengthen your legs. If you want to, you can lift your leg up off the floor, lower down, pull it back in. But trying to keep your back really still, so there's no movement through your pelvis or your back as you can lift that leg, whereas that leg moves. Imagine you're balancing a ball on your back, or a soup on your lower back, being really, really still. Tightening through your core muscles, so your core muscles are stabilising you through that movement. And as your knee comes in, make sure it comes straight back in under your hip. Knees are staying hip distance apart. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Don't bring tension to your upper body. You can bend your elbows slightly. If your wrists are aching, you can always come down onto your elbows on the floor. But try and do a few upon your hands to strengthen through your wrists. And then we'll rest down after that. We'll drop your bottom back to your heels, reach your arms forward. Couple of breaths in and out. And then we'll come up and we'll turn over and lie down on your backs into a neutral position on your back. Knees bent up, feet hip distance apart. And just take a few deep breaths in and out. Open through your chest as you breathe. Make sure you've got that natural gap underneath your lower back. Take a breath in and now tighten through your tummy muscles. So as you exhale, firm your tummy muscles. So you're not pushing out or sucking in, you just tighten the muscles. So if you dig your fingers into your tummy, you can feel those muscles tightening and then releasing. Tightening in that neutral position. And then lift your pelvic floor muscles, so your toilet muscles. Stopping having a wee, stopping passing wind. Tighten your pelvic floor and your tummy as you exhale, relax as you inhale. And then engage through your glutes, so squeeze your bottom, lift your pelvic floor, tighten your tummy, and then relax as you breathe in. And then we'll keep your muscles tight, glutes, pelvic floor, tummy. We'll slide your legs straight one at a time, so lengthen one leg along the floor, Bring that leg back up to the middle and change legs. Tightening through your core muscles to keep that stability through your pelvis and your back. If you want to, you can include the opposite arm as well, so you can reach and lengthen opposite walls, opposite arms, opposite walls. Reaching, lengthening, stretching through your shoulders, stretching through your hip, finding that length through your body as you reach. But tightening through your core muscles, so as your legs move, there's no movement through your pelvis, you're not getting a big sway, or the hips not dropping, you're keeping really still. And then we'll stay in the centre after that one. So keep your knees bent up, your arms down by your sides. You can bring your arms out to the side if you want to. We'll let your knees drop into a twist. Just smoothly, steadily let both knees drop from one side to the other. With your feet hip distance apart or slightly wider. And just move smoothly, comfortably through that twist. So just moving within a comfortable range of movement. If you need to, and if it's not comfortable, you can always open your feet wider and lengthen your legs so you're getting less of a twist of your spine, and just get that gentle movement from one side to the other. But relax your muscles, so keep your hips relaxed, your shoulders relaxed, breathing deeply as you move. And then we'll keep your knees in the middle and we'll pull your knees back into your chest. So have both knees in. Rock your lower back into the floor, you can rock side to side, just release any tension through your lower back. And then we'll drop your feet back down to the floor, bring your feet hip distance apart, and we'll do a pelvic tilt. So to start with, from your neutral position, just tucking your hips under and releasing back to neutral. So tilt and release. So you're really mobilising through your lower back, pushing your lower back down into the floor a centimetre at a time as it tilts. Releasing any tension through your lower back. You can keep your muscles relaxed. And then in your neutral position, we'll tighten through your core muscles, glutes, tummy, pelvic floor. Tuck your hips and lift up into a bridge. Pushing your hips up in line with your knees and shoulders, and then slowly lower back down. So you're rolling through the whole of your spine as you lift and lower your hips. Keep your feet pushing down into the floor, so you're stable through the whole of your feet. Your toes are down, the balls of your feet are heels. Keeping good alignment through your legs, ankles up to knees, knees up to hips. Tight through your glutes to control the movement. Your glutes will help you open your hips, help you lift higher. Relax your shoulders down your back and stay open through your chest. Brace your shoulders into the floor. And if you feel you can lift a little higher, push your hips up a bit further. So really getting that opening through your hip flexors. And make sure you're still rolling through your spine as you lift and lower. So you're pushing your back down into the floor. You're not lifting up with your back in a flat position. And then we'll rest your hips down on the floor after that one. So rest back into your neutral position. Pull one knee into your chest, hug that knee and relax that leg. Slide your other leg straight along the floor and lengthen down your straight leg. Flex your foot, so push your heel away, pull your toes back. Hold that stretch all the way down your straight leg. Tight through your thigh, through your glutes. It's an active stretch, lengthening through your hip. Take a few deep breaths. And then relax and we'll change legs. Drop your other foot to the floor. Pull your knee into your chest. Let that leg relax. Slide your other leg straight. Lengthen down your straight leg. Push your heel away. Pull your toes back. Hold that stretch. Active stretch. Engaging through your glutes. And then relax. Drop your feet back down to the floor in your neutral position. Reach both arms up to the ceiling. Lift your shoulders up off the mat. So reach up and then push your shoulder blades down into the floor and squeeze your shoulder blades back into your spine. Reach up and then push down.
And then leave your shoulders on the floor and let your elbows drop out to the side. Let the backs of your hands ease to the floor, so you're rotating your shoulders backwards and then come back to the middle. So open through your chest, the backs of your hands drop into the floor and then come back to the middle. Make sure you're keeping your back in a neutral position so you haven't arched your back. And then we'll keep your hands in the middle, reach both arms back up to the ceiling and bring your hands together. Push the palms of your hands together and take both arms overhead. So reach overhead towards the floor and then come back to the middle. So actively pushing your arms together to get your arm muscles active. Lengthening through your arms, so try and keep your elbows straight as you come overhead. So strengthening, stretching through your shoulders. You might not be able to get all the way to the floor, so just go to where you can. I'm not getting quite to the floor. And then come back to the middle. Keep your head and neck relaxed. Try to let those hands relax, push your hands together. And then we'll relax and drop your arms down by your sides and bring your legs together, so feet and knees together. Let both knees open and close. Open your knees about hip distance apart or slightly wider, and then squeeze back to the centre. So open and close your knees. Still make sure you've got that natural gap underneath your lower back. Really actively tightening through your glutes. Pelvic floor, so all those muscles are engaging. You can think about squeezing your glutes as you squeeze your knees back into the middle. The legs are staying really controlled. And then we'll do one more, and then we'll keep your knees in the centre and we'll alternate. So we'll do one leg and the other. So let one knee open about hip distance apart and then squeeze back into the middle and change legs. But as that knee opens, make sure you're not rolling to the side. So you're not opening and letting the hip drop. So you want to keep your hip bones pointing to the ceiling, completely still through your pelvis. There's no movement. You're rolling. The weight's in the middle. You're using your core muscles, actively tightening through your core muscles, your tummy muscles, your pelvic floor, your glute muscles, as your legs move, as your knees move. And then we'll keep your knees in the centre. You can relax your muscles for a moment, and then we'll tighten your muscles again. So tighten through your core muscles, keep that neutral position, squeeze your knees together. Feel that tightening through your inner thighs. Make sure you're tight through your core muscles, and then we'll tuck under and lift into a bridge in that position. So your shoulders are still braced into the floor. Relax down your back, your head, neck are lengthened. Feet are pushing down into the floor, knees are squeezing together all the way through that movement as you lift and lower your hips. Your knees are pushing together, so you're actively working through your legs, through your inner thighs. Just lifting and lowering. Rolling, mobilizing through your spine still. And then if you want to add something in, you can push your hips up and lift both heels up off the floor, both heels, drop them down, drop your hips. So get a bit of work into your calf muscles. Push your hips up, lift your heels, drop your heels, drop your hips. And then relax your hips down on the floor after that one, and we'll pull both knees back into your chest. So hug your knees in, rock your lower back into the floor. You can rock forward and back, side to side, release any tension through your lower back. And then we'll drop one foot to the floor, straighten your other leg up to the ceiling, so lengthen through your straight leg. You can hold that stretch there. You can point and flex your foot so you get to stretch all the way down your leg if you want to. So that stretch from your calf muscles, behind your knee to your hamstring. You can always use your band if you want to support this stretch. And then we'll keep your foot flexed. Push your heel up, pull your toes down, lengthen your leg and come across your body. So ease across and back into that nervy stretch. So your legs are really lengthened, foot's flexed, coming a couple of inches across and back. And then we'll rest that foot down to the floor and we'll change legs. So straighten your other leg up to the ceiling, lengthen through that leg. Hold that stretch, or you can point and flex your foot, stretching all the way down your leg. And then we'll keep your foot flexed, push your heel up, pull your toes down, lengthen and come across your body. So just coming across the midline of your body and back, easing in and out of that nervy stretch. Legs lengthened, heels pushing up, tingly stretch. And then we'll rest that foot down to the floor. We'll cross one leg over the other. Start with your ankle on your knee. We'll do a couple of foot circles, ankle rolls round, a couple of one way, and then change direction, circle that foot around the other way. Full range of movement with your foot. And then relax your foot. So bring your hands onto the inside of your knee and push that knee open and hold that stretch. So you're not pushing so far that you drop the hip down. You're just pushing, keeping that neutral position through your pelvis, holding that stretch down your inner thigh into your pelvis. And then relax. You can cross your legs over more or keep that same position, and we'll pull both knees into your chest. Hug both knees in. You can just hug your top knee in if you want to, for that stretch through your hip, through your glutes, and just take a few deep breaths in and out. And then drop your feet down to the floor, and we'll change legs. So start cross your other leg over and do a couple of foot circles, ankle rolls. And then change direction, circle around the other way. And then relax your foot, bring your hands on the inside of that knee, push your knee open and hold there. Just as you feel your hip wanting to drop, hold that position, gently opening through your hip. And then relax that leg and pull both knees into your chest, keeping your legs in that crossed over position. You can just hug the top knee in, you can cross your legs over a bit more if you want to, and just take a few deep breaths in and out. Feel that stretching through your hip, your glutes. And then we'll drop your feet back down to the floor, uncross your legs. We'll come onto one side and we'll come back up to standing. So rolling through your side, pushing up, we'll come back up into a standing position. We'll do a few shoulder stretches. So stand in your neutral position again and circle your shoulders around. So lift your shoulders up, push them back and down your back. And a full range of movement through your shoulders up, back and down. And then leave your shoulders down your back and let your head drop to one side. Lift and lower your other shoulder, so lift up and push down to lengthen through your shoulder and neck. And then leave that shoulder down, drop your head and lift your head up to the centre, and then drop your head to the other side. Lift and lower your other shoulder to get that full range of movement up
and pushing down, get the length of your shoulder and neck. And then we'll leave that shoulder down, drop your head to the centre, lift your head up through the middle, and then take one hand across your lower back, crossing your lower back. Turn your head to the side where your fingers are, turn as far as you can without twisting, and then nod your head up and down to ease in and out of that shoulder and neck stretch. And then we'll keep your head up, come back to the middle and change arms. Take your other hand across your lower back. Turn to the side where your fingers are, so turn as far as you can without twisting. And then nod your head up and down, easing in and out of that shoulder and neck stretch. And then keep your head up, come back to the centre, release the arm, and then we'll draw your chin forward and tuck your neck back. So like you're trying to flatten your neck against the wall as you come in, lengthening through your neck and trying to get that double chin as you tuck in. Forward and back with your head. And then let your head rest in the centre. Bring your arms in front of your body and cross your elbows over. Bring the backs of your hands up towards each other. Relax your shoulders down your back and stand tall. Take a deep breath in and out. I feel that stretching across the top of your back. Shoulders relaxing. Stretching to the top of your back for your shoulder blades. And then release your arms and change arms. So take your other arm on top. Elbows crossing. Bring the backs of your hands up towards each other. Relax your shoulders down. Stand tall. Feel that stretch across the top of your back. Take a few deep breaths in and out. And then release your arms around. Bring your arms down by your sides. So stand tall and get your balance onto one foot and turn your other foot over. Push the top of your foot down into the floor so you're lengthening through the front of your foot. If your feet are tight, just ease into it so you don't get cramp. And then we'll change legs. So drop that foot down, balancing, turn your toes over, pointing your foot. Push the top of your foot into the floor so the knees slightly bent. Hold that stretch. And then release that foot. And with your feet, we'll lift your big toes up off the floor and push your little toes down, and then push your big toes down and lift your little toes up. So just mobilising through the muscles in your feet, through your toes, lifting your big toes, push big toes down, lift little toes up. So alternating between those two. Just getting your brain to access the muscles in your feet. And then let your legs relax. And we'll stand in your neutral position. So come and stand with your feet hip distance apart. Make sure the outside edges of your feet are parallel and your weight's even through your feet. So from your toes, through the balls of your feet, through your heels, your weight's even through your left and right sides, so you're standing in the centre. Ankles, knees, hips and shoulders are in line. So if you look to the side, you're in a nice straight line. You're not pushing your hips forward. So stick your bottom out slightly. Open through your chest, but don't arch your chest so your rib cage is soft. Reach your fingertips down by your sides, lengthen your spine tall, tuck your chin in slightly, and take a few deep breaths in and out as you breathe. Open through the corners of your chest so you're not lifting your shoulders or the top of your chest or opening through your belly as you breathe. You're getting your rib cage to open and close. So stand really tall, take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and then you can relax, and we'll finish there for today. Well done.